Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. With Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. On the sidelines, we have David Aldridge reporting. Hey, Dave.
Well, for Bradley Beal, it all started with his shot. His mom was a great athlete in her own right, and she coached him. By age 7, he was making high school range threes. He said, "I just run from arc to arc. I loved it because you knew you had to guard me all the way out there. Everywhere I went, it was shooter, shooter. My name became shooter." And Kevin, it still is.
It sure is. Thanks, David. And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Porzingis.
And guys, for a measure of how he's performing offensively, look no further than the true shooting percentage. There's been a steady drop in his last 5 games, and he's got to be scrambling now to get that feel back.
Now a look at Dallas's starting lineup. On the wing, Doncic and Jackson. Cauley Stein is out there with Porzingis, and it's Brunson in at the point guard position. And for the Wizards, Bradley Beal is out there with Bell. Then there's Shabazz Napier. Then it's Wall, and it's Bryant in at the center position.
Well, you think the ownership style of the Mavericks, something the league had to adjust to. Very active, very outspoken. Sometimes I think that rubbed people the wrong way. But now you get the sense it's almost the new normal.
Now here's Brunson. Here's Porzingis. Cans the shot from the wing.
Boy, how pretty is that at 7'3"? Kristaps Porzingis knows he can get his shot anytime he wants.
Now here's Wall. That's tipped. And Doncic with a clear path to the hoop. And yes, it's good.
Well, Luka Doncic making his own opportunity offensively with the defense he plays. Nice.
And the Wizards with possession. 4-point game. And the Mavericks, we know, have been trendsetters, investing in development and in technology.
Kevin, they have always been on the cutting edge of data collection and then using that data to give them a competitive advantage. When you're in a business, it's always about what's next. How can I be better?
And glad to see John Wall back out there after fighting back from his Achilles injury he suffered in early 2019.
And obviously, Kevin, an Achilles injury is very worrisome for any athlete, but particularly one like John Wall, whose speed is a major part of his game. But boy, he looks good out there, and you hope he avoids any more injuries the rest of his career.
The first one falls. Doris, don't you think that every trade deadline always seems to have a different feel to it?
Yeah, some years it seems like there's so much movement, a ton of action, and then other years the trade deadline can come and go with virtually no storylines. So hard to predict what happens year to year.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time.
From the moment he stepped into the NBA from the University of Kentucky, John Wall has been hungry and motivated to prove he belongs listed with the top players in the game.
Now here's Jackson. 17 points for him last game against Memphis.
Read the defense perfectly on that possession.
A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Wall against Doncic. Wall passes to Bryant. Jackson gets the bucket. Jackson's got his second basket.
Boy, they came ready to play. That's 4 straight buckets to start the game.
Here's Wall, and off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him.
It may be impossible to stay in front of John Wall.
And here's Brunson. He's coming off a 13-point game against Memphis.
He was also an excellent setup man as well. This guy was cutting the defense to shreds with incredible passing.
And out of bounds as the Wizards gain possession. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Doncic against Wall. Passes it to Beal. And here is Bryant. Now Beal. 11 points for him in that last game against Golden State. Shot clock at 5. The Wizards need to get a shot off here. Bell's shot is good.
And Jordan Bell is one of those guys willing to mix it up in the interior. That is nice.
Doncic against Wall. Doncic passes to Porzingis. Pass to Jackson. Now here's Brunson. Napier covering. Brunson no good.
That was their first miss of the game. 4 for 5 right now. What a good start.
Beal gets a wide open look. Can't tie it up as that one's no good. Mavericks leading by 3. Doncic with it. And in the game with Memphis, he did not play well. Cauley-Stein kicks to Jackson. The pass to Porzingis. A 3-ball. They get it back. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on John Wall.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
Dallas shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one.
Yeah, pretty good numbers on the season when you look at their free throw attempts, right around 78%.
That's good from Jackson. The 15th pick back in 2017, Justin Jackson, Doris, won a championship, as you know, at North Carolina.
Yeah, Kevin, he spent his first season and a half in Sacramento. Now he gets a new opportunity. Sometimes it's that next stop where young players really find success.
He's perfect from the line this time. Well, it's a new front office in Washington, and Greg, they've got their work cut out for him.
John Wall's huge supermax contract as he deals with the Achilles injury. Tough questions to be answered about the direction they're going to take talent-wise. Yeah, just nice strength there, and then just off with the shot.
Free throw drops for Napier.
We know this about the Dallas Mavericks. They will put every piece of data and information to use in terms of trying to get an advantage. Think about it, guys. They are now doing blood tests, trying to head off injury for their players. They believe this gives them a clearer picture into the overall health of their athletes.
Now here's Cauley-Stein. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Pass to Porzingis for the 3. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. Wizards trail by 3. Here's Napier. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. It's rebounded by Dallas. And Doris, those blood tests you were talking about, always subject to player permission. They want to honor player privacy.
I think you have to, Kevin, and most of the Mavs have embraced it. These tests have the ability to measure almost 50 biomarkers. As an athlete, you're always trying to stay in peak form. As an organization, you're always trying to manage appropriately their workloads.
Here's Napier. The Mavericks making the shot. Here's Bryant. Bell trying to break loose. Second shot opportunity, and it's in there.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
No doubt those extra possessions can really add up against you when you do not take care of the defensive glass.
That one drops for him. Porzingis has got his second bucket of the night.
You know, there's an unselfishness to Luka Doncic, and a pretty pass right there.
Now here's Wall. They had a 24-point outing in their last game against Golden State.
And let's not forget about the assist. This guy as a playmaker was a driving force for that offense.
Porzingis with the block. Over to the left wing. Here's Jackson. That one, no good. And it's Washington the other way. And moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
painful to watch, guys. You could see their frustrations mounting, unable to get into any kind of a rhythm whatsoever.
I thought, Greg, they were outworked and outplayed in just about every phase of the game. Maybe that's one of those situations where you say, hey, let's move on.
And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for the Dallas Mavericks. Leading by 5. They come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I mean, hard time shooting the rock in that one, but they also didn't give themselves the best looks.
I think, Greg, even when you get quality looks, there was an inability to stay consistent. It is hard to win on a cold shooting night in today's NBA. The scoring is just too good.
Beal can't get it to go. Dallas leading by 5. On the wing, Doncic. And it's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here.
A moment here to see the numbers for Porzingis. Averaging about 18 points per and 8 rebounds. And he does the heavy lifting on the glass, throwing himself into the rebounding battle with just complete effort.
Well, you get the feeling he believes every rebound should be his, and most of them are. This guy is putting up tremendous numbers.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
And here's Napier. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
There's Beal with the 3. No good that time. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. Last time they met was in Dallas.
Yeah, in this game, they'll want to approach things a little differently, I think. Got blown out last time due to being a little too aggressive on the defensive side.
You know, there's a balance between that aggression and overdoing it. You can't reach in. These are things officials are looking to call.
Boy, did he burrow his way in there, and the D just sort of backed off.
Wizards trail by 9. So timeout called here, the first for Washington.
Well, think back to before he moves on to the Dallas Mavericks. While Tim Hardaway Jr. was with the Knicks, he was carrying such a burden offensively because Porzingis was still recovering.
And a new group getting ready to come in for Washington. Mo Wagner's checked in for Thomas Bryant. Bertans comes in for Bell. Hachimura, he's checked in for Beal. And Smith subbed in for Shabazz Napier. The Mavericks also with a sub. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Willie Cauley-Stein. And that one, good. And it's an 11-point Dallas lead. And we've seen Hardaway be a much more efficient player than in the past.
What we know, Kevin, unequivocally, is that this young man can score the basketball. But what you hope is the best players in the NBA are all about efficiency. That's what you want Hardaway Jr. thinking about. How can I be the most efficient guy on the floor?
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Dallas shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game. That free throw good from Porzingis. Doris, you graduated as your college's all-time assist leader. Talk about some of the key traits of a great playmaker.
I think historically speaking, when we think about great lead guards, Kevin, we talk about unselfishness, vision, patience. Who are the players that make their teammates better? Though probably the one underrated aspect of a point guard to me, Kevin, is communication. Are you constantly looking for opportunities to communicate to your teammates, make them feel good about themselves, give them confidence? That, to me, is probably the most underrated aspect of it.
And Doris, when you played, you took such great pride in each and every one of those things.
I did. I love trying to make my teammates better. It feels great to make somebody feel good.
Now, here's Wall, following the miss by Porzingis. Here's Hachimura. Mavericks with the rebound. Porzingis has got 4 rebounds now tonight.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way. They've been excellent so far, coming in with a well-balanced attack.
No doubt, Greg. On the offensive end, it feels like they're getting the shots they want, and defensively, they are connected and on a string.
Here's Hachimura after Luka Doncic's bucket. Passes to Hachimura. 5 to shoot. Porzingis with the rebound. Porzingis has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Count the basket. 6 points for Luka Doncic.
And you can see their strategy coming in. They want to control the paint.
They have used their size and their strength to get off any shot they want. They've dominated on the interior.
Here's Smith after Luka Doncic's bucket. Pass to Bertens. Smith up top. And it's right, sending it back. And he gets it back. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Here's Dallas. They're on a 19-6 run. Outside Hardaway. Dallas moving it around. The 3. Good work defensively by Smith. And that's a foul called on Porzingis. That's his first foul. On the Mavericks with some changes. Mike Powell comes in for Porzingis. And Michael Kidd-Gilchrist subbed in for Luka Doncic. Wizards trail by 16.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Here's Wall. Out to Smith. There's the pass to Bertens. It's tipped.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
For Dallas, they have gone 3 for 3 at the line tonight. He's off on the first.
Well, a new era begins for the Washington Wizards, right? A change in the front office. The team has tried for years to rebuild in a number of different approaches. Perhaps a fresh outlook for fans under new guidance gives this team new hope.
Here's Wagner, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And for the Wizards and their new front office, Doris, a tough task ahead of them.
I think so, Kevin, because first and foremost, they need to change the culture of the team, right? Too long, there had been a lack of accountability in D.C., and I think once they address that, the rest of the rebuild could come easier.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Well, for Washington, D.C. basketball, they have one title to their name, the champs back in '78.
What a run that was for that team led by the great Wes Unseld. But boy, in the 40 years since that title, my goodness, fans of this franchise have waited so patiently for that return to greatness. When will it come?
And it's Wall with the ball for the Wizards. Trailing by 17. There's 1:47 left here in the opening quarter. It's blocked, and the ball travels out of bounds. Last touch by Kid Gilchrist. Here's Smith. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Shot clock at 6.
Yeah, really like the defensive focus and intensity at the start.
Here's Kid Gilchrist. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to be on John Wall. Dallas shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. No good on that one for the Wizards. Mahimi comes in for Mo Wagner, and Bradley Beal subbed in for John Wall. Good on the second free throw. 1:27 left to play here in the first. Smith, the pass to Hachimura. Cans it from downtown. Hachimura's got 5 now.
And we know Hachimura has a confident personality. You see it there with the rise and fire approach. Nice.
Now here's Wright. 14 points from him the last game against Memphis. Dallas moving the ball around. Here's Hardaway. Here's Kleba. That's tipped. In transition, here come the Wizards. Hachimura, the pass to Smith. Here's Hachimura. 5 on the clock. That ball is in the basket. Now he's shot 6 and made 3 of them.
You have to push Hachimura out of there if you're the defense. He's a real problem on the interior.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. It's Kid Gilchrist on the wing. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. We've seen him miss a couple from the line so far, going 2 for 4. First free throw is good. And so he hits both. There's 18 seconds left in the first quarter. Right against Smith. Kleba with the rebound.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
That boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes. What a big-time asset defensively.
And so it's the Dallas Mavericks. Their lead at 15 going into the break. They've been playing some ferocious defense. And we'll be right back after this. One of the most dangerous scorers in the game, Bradley Beal spoke about the trust Coach Scott Brooks has in him and his teammates.
I think the biggest thing is he's still young. So, you know, he tries to think he's still hip. He keeps up with us a little bit, but he grants us a lot of freedom. He allows us freedom on both ends of the floor to be leaders.
Ellen Beal trying to grow as a leader and a star. Has to love that.
Yeah, and Brooks known for developing good relationships with his players. He pushes them, but he gives them a lot of praise as well.
And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And quite a position here for the Mavericks to be in. What do you think, guys?
Well, look at the turnover ratio, then look at the score. Easy to see what happened in that first period.
Offensively, they took care of the ball. And defensively, they forced a number of miscues.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the floor right now for the Mavericks, Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Wright. Then there's Jackson. Then there's Dwight Powell. And it's Kid Gilchrist in at the 4 spot. Here's Hachimura. Oh, that's blocked.
Beautiful defense from Powell. Uses that impressive length to come away with that rejection.
Jalen Brunson. He's checked in for the Mavericks. Here's Hachimura, guarded by Jackson. 6 on the shot clock. They get it back. Virginus misses the baby hook.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Well, you want some unselfishness from a guy who's capable of scoring, and Tim Hardaway says, you know what, my teammate's open, I'm going to get him the ball.
Wizards trail by 19. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Hachimura. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And out of Japan, a real interesting prospect. Hachimura, especially now that he can stretch the floor.
Yeah, he found the 3-ball in his last year of college, hit over 40%. You combine that with the size, the motor, he is really versatile. And I feel like he's putting it all together.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That one is off. Doris, great scoring is often reliant upon great footwork. And we hear coaches, don't we, talk about that all the time?
We really do, Kev. You look at a guy like Kyrie Irving, who at the point guard position is one of the great scorers. He's a clutch shooter. He doesn't go to the free throw line a lot, and it's because he's so elusive. Can finish left and right, puts a lot of English on his shots. DeMar DeRozan gets separation with incredible footwork, and maybe the best in the league right now in terms of his footwork. That tap dancing James Harden, which is just nearly impossible to check.
Oh, I love those names, and you're so right. And it's fun to watch. What a skill. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. Wizards trail by 19. Pass to Mahinmi. He kicks to Napier. Passes it to Hachimura. Count that bucket. Hachimura's got 9.
And showing some toughness on that take. Hachimura, these kinds of buckets can energize a team.
Here's Kid Gilchrist. No good on the 3. And so Napier will bring it up for the Wizards. Here's Hachimura. And it goes for the 5th time in 10 shots for him this game.
And that's just taking advantage of some soft defense on that drive. Little resistance for him on the way to the basket.
Brunson scanning the floor. Beal with the steal. 4-on-3 break. Here's Napier. He can't get that one to fall. So the Mavericks will take it the other way. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead. And Kid Gilchrist gets it to go in.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Napier passes to Mahinmi. Mavericks with the rebound.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And slam dunk by Kid Gilchrist.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some
Impressive.
thunder. Yeah. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, tampering is a touchy subject, but it's a word we're hearing more often. Teams want to retain their star players, but they know that there's always talk during a season. Now, teams can only express interest in a player when he hits free agency, but players can talk amongst each other freely all season. Star players like LeBron James are tied into their front offices, and some people wonder if there's much of a difference between what the player says and what his team is thinking. Kevin?
Good point, David. Thank you. And that's a foul called on Dwight Powell. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Wizards making a switch here. Ryan's checked in. Dallas also making some changes. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Dwight Powell. And Doncic is subbed in for Hardaway. Can they get it? He takes it up and lays it in.
Well, it's contagious, right? Jordan Bell finding his teammates, and he's willing to give it up.
Now here's Brunson. He's guarded closely. Knocked loose. Jackson trying to break free. And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. Doncic feeling it out. Just 5 to shoot. Jackson passes to Doncic.
That's really good defense by Bradley Beal. Because of his size and mobility to stay on the ball and affect the shot, that's really good D.
Here's Hachimura. Cauley Stein defending. The shot by Bryant, no good. Dallas leading by 20. Here's Brunson. Here's Cauley Stein. Doncic right side. Shoots over Beal, and Doncic gets it to go. Doncic has got 8 points.
You got to remember that Luka Doncic is so much more than a shooter. He's got every shot in his arsenal, even amongst the trees in there.
Now here's Napier. Brunson covering. Pass to Bell. Now here's Napier. Two free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to go on Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. The Wizards have made 5 of 8 of their free throw attempts.
And I think this is a strength of this team. Solid numbers at the line across the board, 77% collectively.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. Doris, such an honor to be on this with you. And you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst, breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev.
Wall. Porzingis with the rebound. Porzingis has got his 6th rebound on the night.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know. Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with 2 hands on that stuff. Outside, Beal. Now the pass to Bryant. Bell against Porzingis. Bell's shot is good. Bell's got his 2nd bucket tonight.
Well, defensively, don't forget about Jordan Bell, especially when he's that close to the rim.
Doncic kicks to Brunson. Back to Doncic. Outside Jackson. Nice D from Wall. And so it's Wall with it, bringing it up for Washington. And that one hits back iron. Mavericks leading by 22. Here's Jackson. No good on the shot. Wall with some nice D. In the corner, Napier with it. Pass to Bryant. Outside, Wall. Shoots over Doncic. Wall's shot is off.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
Porzingis passes to Cauley-Stein. And Cauley-Stein throws it down.
See, Porzingis should score the basketball, but he also recognizes when his teammates have a clean look. I love that unselfishness.
Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Finished off the break.
Oh, great ball movement there.
The Wizards shooting 27%. The offense is just embarrassing themselves. Beal with it. Guarded now by Jackson. The Wizards with another miss.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
And Cauley-Stein has it in the corner. Wall against Doncic. Inside. Takes it from 10. Brunson, no good.
Boy, he cannot get anything to fall, but the teammates, boy, have they delivered.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Luka Doncic. That is his first foul of the game. For the Wizards, Wagner, he's checked in for Jordan Bell. And it's Ish Smith in for Shabazz Napier. DeLon Wright, he's checked in for Dallas. Smith, the pass to Wall. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. Wall's got 5 now.
Quickness, touch in the paint. John Wall looking confident.
Left side, Porzingis. The kick out to Wright. No one near Doncic as he lets it fly from beyond the arc and then some. Doncic has got 5 points now this quarter. Washington with the ball. Wall looking for an opening. Pass to Bryant. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
How good is that pass from John Wall? My man doing some work right now.
Wall against Doncic. Kicks it to Jackson. Back to Doncic. They double him with Wall. Doncic passes to Porzingis. 6 to shoot. The baseline J. That one wide left. Wizards shooting in the second quarter has been pretty iffy, down 32%. Beal from long range. Mavericks with the rebound. Cauley-Stein's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Since taking over the starting role in 2018, Willie Cauley-Stein lived up to his draft spot of being number 6, Greg, overall in 2015.
And you knew that a big man like Cauley-Stein would take a few years to develop, but at a legit 7 feet and great length, he is everything you could hope for in a starting center.
Greg, you look at the young Luka Doncic. What impresses you the most right now about his game?
Well, Kevin, you just don't see many players his height who can handle and make step back. Also, his confidence. He came into the league never doubting that he could dominate a game, and don't forget about his brilliance as a passer.
He misses the free throw.
And as Dirk Nowitzki walks off into the sunset, the Mavericks seem to have found their next European superstar in Luka Doncic. The number 3 pick in last year's draft had a rookie season for the ages.
Bertans, he's checked in for Thomas Bryant. And he sinks the second. And Doncic, the EuroLeague MVP, led Real Madrid to a title. EuroLeague Finals MVP, all at the tender age of 19.
Incredibly accomplished. Despite that, slipped a little bit in the draft into the waiting arms of the Mavs, who moved up 2 spots to get him.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Porzingis passes to Doncic.
I got ball. I'm open right here. Oh, give me that.
And he uses the glass on the layup. Doncic has got 8 here in the quarter.
Well, this guy flat out carrying the load for them offensively. He is taking and making good shots. What a terrific job.
And it's Wall with the ball for the Washington Wizards. Puts it up from 17, and the Wizards getting another bucket right there.
And boy, has he picked it up since the start of the second. His shots now starting to fall.
Get the perimeter.
Doncic dishes to Wright. And Cauley Stein has it in the corner. Outside Jackson. Over Beal. Jackson misses.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Here's Wagner. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
How good a playmaker are we watching? Always leading, always trying to create for others.
Doncic kicks to Wright. Back to Doncic. Outside, Porzingis. Jackson against Beal. Jackson misses.
This has not been a good period for this guy. Out of sync, not letting the game come to him. He's got to settle down and make shots. Boy, the wheels have definitely fallen off in this quarter. He cannot buy one.
And it goes down 2 points. Jackson's got 12 in the game.
Boy, that's a backbreaker. Takes it right into the rim and extends their lead.
You want to make sure your opponent knows they have absolutely zero chance of a comeback, and nice finish by him.
Now Wall. 9 points in the game so far. It's been all about Luka Doncic for the Dallas Mavericks. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We've got more in store for you right after this.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K Sports, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Let's talk about that first half. Luka Doncic has been the story in this one. He had 14 points, 2 steals, and 3 assists. And Kenny, what are your thoughts on how Dallas played?
Well, they just about ran their offense to perfection. They pounded the ball inside, and the entry feeds were on time and on the money. It was a clinic to watch. The second half is going to be no contest if they keep getting shots 8 feet and in.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on Washington?
Well, they gave up too many good looks. You look at the field goal percentage against them, this tells the whole story. Not enough activity defensively, not enough disruption, Ernie. Like Kenny disrupts me all the time, not enough disruption.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. You know, Luka Doncic has been exceptional here, guys.
And you know he's going to put up points every time out, but boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
Now let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Bell is out there with Bryant. And it's Wall. Then there's Shabazz Napier. And it's Beal in at the 3 slot. That's the route for Scott Brooks getting going here in the second half. Bell's shot is good.
Man, is this guy quick off the floor. Jordan Bell with the offensive board and putback. Nice.
Brunson with it. Outside Jackson. Here's Porzingis. Doncic trying to get open. Porzingis can't hit.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
Bell powered down with both hands.
Listen, we all understand Jordan Bell can get off his feet in a hurry. That is nice.
Mavericks leading by 20. Doncic outside. Count that one as his 7th make in 8 attempts. A scorching 88%.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
Here's Wall. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Now, this is where John Wall excels to me, getting fouls while shooting the basketball.
He shot 2 free throws in the game, made 1 and missed 1. And that one misses. And the second free throw, good. And so it's Brunson with it. He brings it up for the Dallas Mavericks. They'll be off to Charlotte for a game against the Hornets. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Cauley Stein passes to Brunson. And here is Doncic. Napier covering. Just 4 to shoot. Doncic, no good.
Pressured that shot by getting a hand up just as good as a block.
And he did it without fouling, and that's become an art, changing shots without making contact.
And he pulls off the Houdini to make that catch and slam it through.
Stupendous alley-oop. Brunson the pass to Doncic. Another 3 for Dallas.
Boy, the quick trigger of Luka Doncic makes him especially dangerous in catch and shoot. Good luck, defender.
And there's the foul. It's on Jalen Brunson. That's his first foul. Hachimura, he's checked in for Washington. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for the Mavericks. And so it's Washington with it. And Wall kicks to Bryant. Left side, Wall. Shot clock at 5. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. The Wizards have had 12 attempts at the line, making 8 so far. Free throw drops for Napier, and the Mavericks making a change here. Hardaway's checked in. And both free throws good for Napier. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Doncic against Wall. Here's Porzingis. He's got 9. That one goes. Count it.
Well, Kevin, how about the shot mechanics of your 7-footer? Kristaps Porzingis is efficient in catch and shoot.
Here's Wall. Pass to Hachimura. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. And no good that time.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Doncic with it, picked up by Bryant. Doncic, no good. The Wizards have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. No one near Wall as he lets it go. Bell's shot is good.
I'll tell you, what a night. He has been efficient. He's been strong. Unfortunately, they're still fighting an uphill battle.
And when you think of Jordan Bell, you think of do-it-all big man.
Specifically how strong he is on defense. Great timing for blocking shots, good hands, and can guard anybody out on the floor. Can finish plays as well when moving at the hoop.
Mahimi's checked in for Bryant. Dallas also making some changes. Powell, he's checked in for Porzingis. And Michael Kidd-Gilchrist subbed in for Luka Doncic. Goes up the baseline. The pass to Bell. Here's Hachimura. Nice ball movement by Washington. Clock at 6. Here's Wall. Wall with another miss.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
Kleba, the pass to Brunson. Kidd-Gilchrist inside. 11 points in the game.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
And it'll be his 4th time going to the free throw line in the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. And Kidd-Gilchrist drops them both. Now here's Napier. He's got 8. Pass to Bell. Back to Napier. Over to the wing. 6 to shoot. And here's Wall on the money from 12 feet away. Wall's got 12 in the game.
That just comes off so aggressively. Wall so hard to guard.
Now here's Brunson. Not a lot of room.
What a college career for Jalen Brunson. 2 championships and a Wooden Award. This is one of the most decorated players in college basketball history.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
And he's kept his percentage at a decent level, right around 74.
Shooting 2.
That one falls for Brunson. And he can't hit the second. Wizards trail by 21. Here's Hachimura. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And Brunson, the College Player of the Year back in 2018, but fell to the second round. Doris, when you look at that time, why did he fall?
I think it had everything to do with the fact that he's not an elite athlete by NBA standards. But we know unequivocally Jalen Brunson is a winner. His father played a decade in the NBA. This young man has been around the game since his formative years, and you can see it in his game.
And he knocks down the first one.
And although he started playing the game later in life, Hachimura has picked it up well, and exciting young player to watch.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
On the wing, Hardaway. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on John Wall.
It's proving very difficult to guard Tim Hardaway Jr. without fouling the guy, especially when he's this aggressive.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And they have really leaned on his free throw shooting at times this season. He's been there for them, too, with 88% from the line.
That free throw good from Hardaway.
You see, to me, guys, for Tim Hardaway Jr., there's still another level for him to reach. He has proven that he can be a big-time scorer. To me now, it's about consistency and doing it night after night after night.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Lights checked in. Hardaway hits them both.
And right now, at about 85% from the line, that's up from where it was in that first half.
Now Napier. He's got 8. Mahinmi dishes the Wall. Back to Mahinmi. Launches it. They grab their own miss. Here's Bell. No good with the layup.
Boy, in that close, he's almost automatic. Boy, that's pretty good defense. Wow.
In the corner, Powell with it. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Powell's got 5 now.
Listen, what we know is this guy is a good finisher, and Powell now trying to extend that range, make people respect him out beyond the arc.
Here's Hachimura, and that one is good. He's got 15.
Well, what a terrific possession. Attack in the painted area.
Right with it. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Here's Kleba, and that one's drained from the low block.
Textbook, nice pass, great catch, even better finish.
And so it's Washington with it. Here's Napier. And there's the feed to Mahinmi. It's over Powell. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And Kevin, defensively, if you have got to foul someone, this isn't a bad choice. For Mahinmi, it's been a bit of an adventure at the free throw line.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
You know, when you look at his numbers this season, he's had a respectable number, 77%.
2 shots. Relax on the first.
That free throw good from Mahinmi.
And this is one of the things they need to keep doing in the second half to get this win. Keep knocking down those free throws. They've been sensational here at the line.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Mo Wagner comes in for Jordan Bell. And Smith subbed in for Napier. Mahinmi hits them both.
And this is where Mahinmi gets into some trouble, right? You think over his career, percentage-wise, it has not improved as a foul shooter.
Now here's Wright. To the inside. Here's Hardaway over Wall. It's Hardaway that time on the assist by Wright. Wright's got his 3rd assist on the night. Here's Smith. Passes it to Wagner. Here's Wall. Mavericks with the rebound. Powell's got his 6th rebound on the night.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Out to Hardaway. Back to Kid Gilchrist. Shoots from 8. It's John Wall with the rebound. Wall's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And stolen by Wright. Now the Mavericks moving it up. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Yeah, easy call.
Doris, here's something kind of interesting. There's been a lot of talk about moving the draft to after free agency. What would that look like?
Well, I think talent is always going to be at a premium. So I would think if there's a guy that's the absolute definitive #1 pick, he's going #1 regardless of roster construction. But the reality is it might help those teams who maybe if they know who's on the roster, it might change the kind of draft selection they would make. So it's an interesting supposition. We'll see if the NBA moves in that direction.
Yeah, and their free throw shooting has really improved here in the second half.
And the Wizards making a change here. Bertin has checked in. So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. The Wizards have gone 6 of 14 since halftime. A little cold from the field. That one goes in. Wall's got 14.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with him. John Wall just a blur with that first step. Beep, beep.
And Wright kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Knocks down the 3 ball. 17 points in the game.
Really in a good position thanks to the accuracy from beyond.
And the foul called on Tim Hardaway Jr. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
No good on the free throw. He hits the second from the line. And so it's Wright bringing up the ball for the Dallas Mavericks. Outside Kid Gilchrist. Back to Wright. Down low, Kleba, and the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
That's the idea. You work the ball into that area. It's a sweet spot.
Wizards have gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the 3rd quarter. 11 feet away, and it's Smith missing.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And this is where you hope that he can find something easy so he can see the ball go through the net.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw drops for Wright. Second free throw, no good. Well, the Wizards shooting 44% on their field goal attempts in quarter 3.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
Pass to Powell. Outside Hardaway. Here's Kleba. Shot clock at 6. There's the triple. It's rebounded by John Wall. Washington's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Puts it up from 17. Offensive rebound. And another shot. That shot off.
Well, the defense flat out awful right there, and he couldn't punish them for their mistake.
Kid Gilchrist, the pass to Powell, uses the glass to finish the layup. Powell's got 5 points now in the quarter.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
There's the pass to Wagner. He kicks it to Wall. Knocked away. Kid Gilchrist with the steal. Pass to Powell. He dishes it to Hardaway. And it's out of bounds. The Wizards will take it the other way. And look now at a few years worth of data. Some of the assist numbers under the microscope for Wall.
And the trend that he's going through with his assist numbers dropping over the past few years isn't a good one. I don't want to say he's become a more selfish player because that's too harsh, but he's become a little too concerned about finding his own shot rather than creating for his teammates. He may want to rethink that.
And he comes up with the deuce.
And the instincts there from Hachimura. Notice the overcommitment by the defense and then makes the right pass.
And right, here we go. Here's Kleba. That three off the mark.
And even without that three ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Smith outside. Passes it to Hachimura. Over Hardaway. Tries to save it, and it doesn't even draw iron. Out of Würzburg, Germany, undrafted Maxi Kleba with a strong start, Doris, to his career.
Incredible to think he grows up in the same small town as Dirk Nowitzki, and he first meets Dirk when he's 12 years old. What an amazing story for them to become teammates on the Mavericks. So cool.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with matchups?
The Wizards making a switch here. Beal's checked in. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Willie Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Dwight Powell. Porzingis is coming in for Maxi Kleba. Jackson, he's checked in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Tim Hardaway Jr.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Greg, to me, this has simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
Smith finds Beal. And again, Washington, no good. Dallas has gone 3 of 7 from three-point range here in quarter number 3. Doncic. Here's Cauley-Stein. Lots of room. The shot, no good. Washington's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Shot and game clock separated by 5. From the arc. Wagner, good. Wagner's got 7 points.
Well, for a big man, his stroke is just beautiful, and because of the height, it's so hard to challenge.
Right, the pass to Porzingis. On the wing, Doncic. Over Wall. Off target with that shot. And so it's Dallas, having no problems at all. Up 29 points heading into the next quarter. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
And, Greg, nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. And here's Curry, who brings it up for Dallas. On the floor for Dallas starting the 4th quarter here. Cauley Stein is out there with Porzingis. Then there's Seth Curry. Then it's Lee, and it's Finney-Smith in at the 3 spot. Cauley Stein passes to Curry. Drills it from outside. Curry's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
Robinson against Lee. The tray. Robinson, that's good.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
The 3 from Porzingis. Good, and Curry gets the assist. 14 points for Porzingis.
Boy, the shot mechanics are just beautiful to watch. Kristaps Porzingis, you cannot give him space.
We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Robinson against Lee. And the foul on Dorian Finney-Smith. That is his first foul of the game. Mahimi's checked in for the Wizards. So it's Washington now. Smith outside. Outside Robinson. Tries again. Lee with the block. Doris, we know historically the Celtics, the only franchise to ever have a 4-peat, 4 straight championships. Do you think at some point we're going to see another?
I'm not sure there can be in today's NBA, Kevin, and there are a number of different contributing factors. Number one, the salary cap implications that happen. Number two, look at the Golden State Warriors, who were well positioned for a three-peat. And yet, as you know, luck plays a small part in an NBA championship. Luck relative to injuries. You see Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant both get lost in the midst of an NBA Finals.
True.
This is it's challenging enough to go back-to-back. Forget about four-peat.
And nice job taking what the defenders gave him. These guys need a gut check right now.
Well, simply stated, simply not enough effort, not enough attention to detail. They've gotten run over this evening.
Cauley Stein against Mahinmi. 6 on the shot clock. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. Here's Lee. And Lee with the stuff.
Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love, Greg, is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
Smith against Curry. And Robinson wide open. He shoots. And another miss by Washington. Dallas has gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the 4th quarter. Finney-Smith passes to Cauley Stein. Here's Finney-Smith. The dish to Lee. Pass to Curry. And the rejection by Smith. And he's able to get it back. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. For Washington, they've gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one make. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And now a chance to see the former Demon Deacon Ish Smith in action. Has been in the league for a while now and played for several teams, and he's a veteran through and through.
Free throw drops for Smith. And when you have Ish Smith on your team, you know he's going to give you scoring off the bench.
And Smith not exactly great at any one thing, but the whole package is solid for a reserve. As long as you can make the right decision and just run the offense, that'll get you pretty far in this league.
Smith hits them both. Doris, we've both been very public in our admiration for LeBron, the face of the league, for so many years. When he retires, and we're approaching that date, who do you think might step up and take his place as the face of the NBA?
Well, probably the most likely candidate is the new and reigning MVP, and that's Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is an absolute physical force. He's put on 50 pounds. He's getting more and more skilled. When he adds that three-point shot as a consistent weapon and gets to an in-between game, he will be impossible to guard. Kawhi Leonard, you know, he is now sort of taking over as a multi-time winner of the Finals MVP, and certainly a player guys want to play with. So just a couple of possibilities there, Kev.
Here's Finney-Smith, covered by Smith. Finney-Smith passes to Porzingis. Lee left side. Some solid defense from Brown.
I'll tell you, everything went right in terms of execution. He just can't get it to go.
Stein finds Lee. And the rejection by Mahimi.
And this is what you like about Jan Mahimi defensively. He might not be the highest flyer, but big-time enforcer.
And again, the turnover by the Wizards.
That looks like a lack of focus. You've got to question what he was trying to accomplish there.
The Mavericks have gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. Lee passes to Finney-Smith. Back to Lee. Now the pass to Finney-Smith. Just 5 on the clock. Excellent D that time from Robinson. Washington's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. It's blocked. And here is Lee. Pass to Porzingis. Over Smith. To the middle. To stop the drought. Here's Finney-Smith. Rebound, Washington.
Boy, he's at the cup, but that is tremendous defense. Prohibit the lay-in without fouling.
It's stolen by Mahimi. Passes it to Schofield. Doris, isn't it interesting that we're seeing some teams with more three-point attempts than two-point attempts?
It's incredible, Kevin, that every year over the last decade you see more three-point attempts across all 30 NBA teams. And think about the Houston Rockets. In each of the last 2 years, the Rockets have actually taken more threes than twos. This is the evolution of the game. It is not going anywhere. There's 2 high-valued shots in the league. Restricted area twos, that means point-blank opportunities at the rim, and three-point shots, and everything else in between seems to be getting lost.
Here's Smith. Pass to Mahimi. The pass to Robinson. Mahimi against Porzingis. Smith outside. 4 on the clock. Yes, that goes in.
Well, what a job. Punching the ball to the interior and finishing in the paint. Nice.
For Dallas, they've gone 6 of 13, so just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. Curry against Smith. Here's Porzingis. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Curry's got 3 assists now in this one.
Yeah, that jumper is pure Porzingis. Nice follow through, nice touch. This guy is very fundamentally sound.
The Wizards shooting just 30% from the field here in the fourth. Robinson against Curry. Brown wide open. He fires. Sinks the triple. Brown's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Listen, even average three-point shooters are going to make that shot. Defense must be better.
Now Lee. Here's Cauley Stein. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Robinson against Lee. Robinson passes to Smith from 12 feet out. Offensive rebound and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Now, I think everyone knows when Mahinmi gets the ball inside, often the better choice is to foul him, and we'll see if he can make them pay for that.
That free throw missing. Doris, basketball continues to gain in popularity around the world, doesn't it? It's amazing to me.
It does. Adam Silver, the commissioner, has said, I believe we can be the #1 spot in the world. Obviously, they'd have to overcome the soccer, and that's popularity. But think about this, Kevin, how inclusive a game basketball is. And the love spans across gender, race, ethnicity, religious affiliation. And the best part about the game of basketball is this, Kevin. When you're growing up and trying to get better, you need a ball, you need a hoop, and you need you, and you don't need anything else.
That is so well said. Curry passes to Finney-Smith. Back to Curry, over Napier. Curry can't get it to go. Washington's gotten off 4 three-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. The Wizards with another miss.
And if that's the best look you can get on a possession, what a waste of a trip down the floor.
Well, missed opportunities, and they can certainly add up. You cannot afford to take that kind of shot.
The inside, guarded by Robinson. No good from Lee.
I'll tell you, he's trying to help them extend this lead, but it's been a tough night for him individually.
Brown. The shot by Mahinmi, no good. Mavericks shooting here in the fourth quarter, around 41%. Here's Kid Gilchrist. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. Kid Gilchrist has got 10 points in just the second half. Outside, Robinson. Softly drops in the floater.
Well, that's a nice play. You've got to read the situation and go to your floater game when necessary.
Curry with it. Pass to Kid Gilchrist. From outside, off the mark. Washington shooting about 35% from the floor. Not much falling for them. Here's Robinson. Good, and it's Napier with the assist that time. And it's 7 points for Robinson.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Robinson against Lee. Outside Curry. Lee against Robinson. Fades and shoots. Lee gets the bucket. Lee's got 8 here in the quarter.
Well, this is a comfort zone for Courtney Lee. Someone who steps up and will take these mid-range shots with great consistency.
Napier kicks to Brown. Back to Napier. Passes to Robinson. And it's blocked. Here's Finney-Smith. Pass to Lee. It's good.
If you give Lee that spot on the floor, 9 times out of 10, he comes away with a bucket.
Here's Napier. 1:37 left to play here in the fourth. Brown outside. Now here's Napier. Brown outside. Back to Napier. Clock at 6. Over Kidd-Gilchrist. And it's Napier missing. Dallas has gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Mavericks.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And guys, at this point in the long NBA season, this will go down as win number 25.
Important. With this win, they split the season series at a game apiece and also avoid the sweep. And that has to be a relief.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Boy, his defense is what stood out to me. There was a no-fly zone around this guy all night. He contested every shot in his area and sent a few back.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. And there's the pass to Powell. Pass to Finney-Smith. Curry gets the bucket.
Well, they knew it would be a hostile environment, and they rose to the challenge.
And sometimes, Greg, when everyone's rooting against you, it seems to bring the unit closer together. It certainly did tonight.
And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. And the technical free throw is good. Five seconds left to play in the final quarter. And here's Brown outside. So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. KP, you guys did a great job contesting shots and disrupting their offense. What did you like best about the defensive effort tonight?
I think from the beginning of the game, we just started off aggressive. We were connected defensively, and that's why we were able to stop them.
You got it done when it counted, Kristaps. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.